And we bring in Jason Leffler of Turner Motorsports and the NASCAR Nationwide Series. Top of the morning, Jason.
What's happening, guys?
Jace, how are you?
I'm great. Just getting ready to leave for Bristol here in a few hours, so looking forward to going up there this weekend for sure.
Well, before we talk about Bristol, let's talk about Montreal. Up front and running well there. I got to be honest with you, pal. You gave me an eyeful when you came through Turn 7 last Saturday, and it was right in front of me, sideways and all wadded up. Man, we certainly did have a physical race up there in Montreal, didn't we?
Yeah, the restarts there are really, really physical. Everybody's bottled up, and I don't know, we got tagged by Stephen Wallace, but it's one of those deals. Everybody got checked up and got hit from behind. The Great Clips Chevy was really good up there, and about 25 laps in the race, we had maybe 30. We had a truck arm, left rear truck arm starting to twist, and when it did that, it changed the handling of the car, but it didn't. It still was fast beyond that. So, yeah, it was a great weekend for us. Wish we could have put together a whole race without any problems, and we would have definitely run better than we did. But, yeah, physical, very physical on the road course, especially that place. That turn 1, 2, 3 complex really lends itself to be physical on the restarts. But that's just the way you got to race. You got to do the using, otherwise you get used up, So it's a fun track. I enjoyed it.
Well, you were able to come home ninth in the Napa Auto Parts 200 at Montreal. Are you relieved that the road course races are over? Because we talk about short track races have a tendency to manifest themselves in these road course events. Are you relieved to be done with that? Because you got another short track race looking you dead in the face here this weekend.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to going to Bristol, but I enjoy the road racing. We ran well there. We didn't have the finish to show for it, but yeah, I mean, we're going to Bristol, which is another. Obviously the restarts in Bristol are pretty physical too. But man, I love that track, especially since they reconfigured it, and we've always had fast cars at Turner Motorsports there, and whether it was Braun before, and the 38 car's always been good. We're running the 30 car this weekend. For AccuDoc Solutions, Harry Scott. So I'm looking forward to that. And we always run good when we switch the paint schemes up and put a little green on that thing. So, I feel like we'll have a really, really good run this weekend.
Not sure if you were able to watch the doubleheader last night, Modifieds and Trucks. I guess if you did that whet your appetite for what you're going to have on Friday night?
Yeah, it did. I mean, the Modifieds, I can't believe how fast they are around there. But I watch it on TV, but truck race was good. It was exciting the whole time. I thought it was at the very beginning. I thought it was going to be a sleeper there with Elliott, but then those restarts really, really helped the show out. And then everybody running out of gas. I didn't even know if Harvick was going to make it there, but great show. So the Truck Series always they put on a great show there. Anything that races at Bristol is incredible race. The fans always get their money's worth for sure.
Obviously we've been talking a lot about the Kyle Busch, Elliott Sadler situation, but you brought up something there that I wanted also to discuss, and that is, here we are at Bristol, Jason, and we're talking about a fuel mileage race. It doesn't matter where we go, what racetrack we go to, what division it is, it's a fuel mileage race almost every weekend.
Man, that's crazy. I just don't, you can't put your finger on one thing, whether it's, we've said it, whether it's the point system, where people know they have to finish, and for us in the Nationwide Series, maybe it could be the new car a little bit where there's not as many cautions, but I mean, it's wild to go to Bristol and think it'd be a fuel mileage race.
We watched last night the fuel mileage aspect of this take hold. We also watched where some boys have at it boys came into play with Elliott Sadler and Kyle Busch. As a race car driver now in NASCAR, you obviously race in the NASCAR Nationwide Series. We joke sometimes that give and take turns into grab and go. How much do you take before you start giving back?
Not a whole lot. It just depends where you're at, and I'll be honest, it depends what kind of mood you're in that particular moment in the race car. If something's turned around and you think you're having a bad day, then something like that happens, you have a tendency to take care of it right away. But it just depends where you're at and what kind of mood you're in. But yeah, I mean, that give and take deal, or that boys have at it. It's tough. But it is what it is, and the fans like it, I think.
No matter what side of the coin you're on whether you thought Kyle was right, Elliott was right, who was wrong, any of that, the question I have for you, if you are Kyle Busch now, do you have to have it in the back of your mind that somewhere, some way, somehow, he's probably got one coming from Elliott Sadler?
Yeah, oh yeah. As a driver, you know that, and like last week on the last lap last week, and I spun out Eric Amarillo, and it was totally by accident, but you go over and you say, hey man, I'm sorry, and he's mad, and my deal is next one's on you, and so something down the road he's not going to give you room, or he's going to get you. So it's just part of it. It's part of the sport. And when you do make a mistake, I think you got to just own up to it and expect that it's going to come back around. It's just part of racing right now.
But how do you live like that, knowing that it could have been the purest of accidents, but yet in the back of that driver's mind, all right, well, Leffler's got one coming. How do you race each and every week knowing that at some point you could get it from somebody? You may have even forgot about the incident, but the person that's going to take a whack at you hasn't.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's part of racing. I mean, you just put it in the back of your mind, and if the guy decides to get you back on that particular moment, he does. If not, maybe he's having a good day, and he won't screw with you, or you won't screw with him, or vice versa, So it's just part of racing. It's just another element that makes it so tough, and on top of that, anything can happen anytime, whether it's by accident or on purpose. So that's just part of running, 43 cars, running with 42 other cars out there, side by side and racing hard.
But there are certain venues, though, Bagman, sorry, that you can kind of disguise that, can't you? On a road course, can you disguise it a little bit more than you can on an oval track?
Yeah, I mean, everybody has an excuse on a road course, about those restarts.
Oh, those damn brakes gave way again.
Yeah. There's all these different corners and turning right and left and different shaped corners. Man, I don't know what I'm doing, but that's why those restarts are so rough like that. And plus you're going slow. People have a tendency to rough each other up when you're going slow. So, that's part of it. It's pretty funny.
Well, sometimes
depending on the circumstances, yes.
What's the forecast tomorrow night for you and the 30 bunch there on the world's fastest half mile in the Food City 250?
Well, I mean, we're looking forward to hauling butt. We ran second there in the fall last year. Ran eighth in the spring, so I'm looking forward to running that AccuDoc Chevy up front. And I think, like I said, I've been saying since May, we've had good cars. It's just been other little elements of the race that have gone wrong. So looking forward to, I know we'll have some speed, and hopefully we can just run a clean race and be there at the end and have a shot to win that thing.
The NASCAR Nationwide Series Food City 250 tomorrow night at Bristol Motor Speedway. Live coverage begins here on Sirius XM NASCAR Radio, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, the Performance Racing Network with the call. Jason, all the best to you. Safe travels to Bristol, Tennessee/Virginia, and best of luck Friday night in the old bull ring or the old Coliseum there in Bristol.
All right, guys. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, Jason.
That's Jason Leffler joining us. Check our headlines coming up. Then Darrell Waltrip will join us on the Morning Drive.